Finally, we have reached towards last chapter of this paper, the most simple and easy chapter among all. Communication in business. What is meant by communication? What is communication? Why we communicate? If company top management want to communicate with the lower level employees, why? Sharing information. Communication is what? Simply sharing information with each other is called communication. Sending and receiving messages or information is called communication. Sending or receiving information is called communication. In a business, communication could be vertical. Vertical mean if directors communicating anything with the managers, or managers communicating anything with supervisors, or supervisor communicating anything with employees, this will be called vertical communication. Our communication could be horizontal. One department manager want to communicate things with other department manager, that is called horizontal. One director communicating information with other directors, horizontal. One employee of any department, if sharing information with other employee of the similar department, that will be what? Horizontal. Our communication could be diagonal. What is diagonal? One department employee, if communicating something with other department manager, if one department employee communicating information with the other department manager, so that would be what? Diagonal. One department manager, if communicating anything with other department employee, so that will be what? Diagonal. One department manager communicating with other department manager, that will be horizontal. People at the same rank, same level. If people at different level communicating with each other, that is vertical. But if people of one department communicating with different level of other department, so that will be diagonal. Accounting and finance department is preparing their accounts using a software. They were facing problem how to manage the software. So accounts manager want to take help from IT department staff. And if he is contacting with IT department staff, we are facing this issue. Could you please come and resolve our issue? This is what? Diagonal communication. What is communication? Sending and receiving information or sharing information with each other is called communication. Is that? Communication could be formal or informal. Formal means the communication channel, if defined by company management, like how directors will communicate with the manager, how managers will communicate with subordinates, mean employees, this is defined by company management. This is according to rules, policies, procedures of the organization, that will be called formal. And all these three types, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, this is what? Formal communication. If within organization people are communicating with each other, but not according to rules of the organization, not as per the defined channel of company management, so that will be called informal. Employees are sitting in a cafe in break time and sharing information with each other. That is what? Not formal, that is informal communication. And for informal communication, there is a term used, grapevine. What is a grapevine? Rumors. There are chances of rumors, grapevine in informal communication, and this is the quickest way of communication. Formal communication is a little bit slower. because manager want to communicate with subordinates. Ultimately, they need to conduct a meeting. That meeting they need to arrange. They need to check the availability of every people. It will take time because so many formalities they need to fulfill. But informal, while chatting with each other during lunch time, they are communicating with each other, or while walking from business place to metro station, bus station, they are communicating with each other. This is what? Informal. And this is the quickest way of communication. I mean, information pass too fast through informal way, but information will be passed slowly through formal communication channels. So let's discuss. Communication is a two-way interchange of information, exchanging information with each other. Our ideas, our facts, and emotions by one or more persons. Could be between more than one persons in a group. It establishes relationship and allows for direction and coordination of tasks. In an organization, communication takes many forms. Communication could be giving or receiving information and instructions, exchanging ideas, announcing plans and strategies, vertical, top management to lower level, laying down rules or procedures from top management to lower level, comparing actual results against a plan. I mean, management have defined a budget and now employees actual results communicating to management so that they can compare to see whether they have achieved a budget or lower budget. And communication could be through manuals in files, folders in which policies, procedures are written. Organization chart in how process will go in the organization. That is also part of communication. And job description. If your job description has been communicated to you in written form by manager, so that is what communication. This is your role that you need to perform. This is your boundary. So communication. There are two persons involved in communication. One is a sender who want to communicate, and one is a receiver who is receiving message. So sender will send a message to the receiver. Message could be sent through different channels. Channels of communication could be face-to-face verbal communication, could be through gesture, could be through email, through WhatsApp. These are what channels of communication. In communication process, there is one hurdle called noise that affect the effective delivery of message to the receiver. What could be noise? If two people are talking with each other, say in office, and in office other people are also sitting, they are talking with each other, their matters, so they are creating what? Interruptions within communication. So this could destroy the message if other person is unable to understand that message appropriately. Noise could be if you are sending message through WhatsApp or email, that message could be hacked by the hacker. So that hacking by the hacker is also noise that will interrupt the sending of message, that will disturb the communication process. In communication, there could be feedback like sender has sent the message to the receiver and receiver saying, yes, I have received and understood your message. So that is what feedback. Information against any message. Type of communication could be formal communication. Formal, this have to provide management structure, mean that is defined by company management, how people will communicate with each other. So that individual know what is expected of them and how they have actually performed. It could be including plans, procedures, policies, performance reports, meeting, and formal communication of management decision. It can be vertical, downward. It could be horizontal, also called lateral. The other name of horizontal is what? Lateral, between peer groups. Peer groups mean people at same level with your colleagues. Or could be diagonal, mean interdepartmental communication between people of different rank. This is very important. People of different rank. Information also flows into and out of the organization. And that will be called inflows, outflows. If anything has been communicated from outside the organization to people inside the organization, that will be called inflows. Something coming from outside to inflow. Like market researchers has informed you some research. Government bodies have informed you you need to comply these laws now. But if any information coming from within the organization to outside stakeholder, outside people, that will be outflows. Company have published their financial statements. These are our results to whom external world you are showing. This is what outflows. Company have discovered anything through research and development, and now they are publishing those discovery for the world. So that will be outflows. So inflows include market research and surveillance. Surveillance means CCTV camera on door of your business, and some incident happened last night. Now you are checking the video of CCTV camera captured who were outside the door, who tried to enter the door last night. So that is what information coming from out to in. Allowing the organization to identify and respond to any opportunity or threat in the market mean through inflows information, we can identify any threat or opportunity. Because threats or opportunities are external factors. If anything, any information coming from outside to into the business, that will be called inflows. Coming in. Inflows mean coming in. From where? Outside. From where? Market. So that will be information about any opportunity or threat. Researchers have announced, oh, there is something new coming into the market that you can adopt before your competitor. I can help you to make a deal. This is what? Opportunity or threat? Opportunity. Government body have announced, see, now you need to comply these laws as well. Now you will not be able to launch any new product without approval, without testing from government laboratory. And that testing process will be costly and time consuming. Opportunity or threat? Threat. You got information from the market. There is one new foreign competitor coming into the market with a huge investment. Opportunity or threat? Threat. New competitor coming into the market, foreign competitor with huge investment. This means there will be new business in the market against you. He will attract your customer, will destroy your business. Outflows mean if anything coming within the business to outer world, going out. Include advertisement. You are awaiting the customer about your product. Marketing, public relation. Mean you are saying to other, we can do this for you. And usually involve the organization trying to influence the key external stakeholders. What is informal communication? This is communication informally by means of a face-to-face conversation, telephone conversation, email, and WhatsApp text conversation. It does not follow the line of authority, being not defined by company management. Instead, being a feature of cooperation between individuals. It is inevitable, mean cannot be stopped, cannot be avoided in any organization. Informal communication, you cannot stop, you cannot avoid. And not necessarily a bad thing. Even sometimes management use this channel to spread some information quickly. And that there will also be number of informal communication channel. Informal communication can move in any direction, can skip authority level and is as likely to satisfy social need as facilitate task accomplishment. In this complete the social need of people, as well as management sometimes use this informal communication way for accomplishment of task. If people are working in a team, managers, supervisors, employees working at the same level in a team, so that communication is what? Informal communication. A grapevine refers to the network of social relationship that arise spontaneously as people associate with one another, mean rumors, gossips. It often carries more current information than the formal communication network and may be used by employees to bypass secret management. Security management. The grapevine often carries rumors, gossip. What is rumor? This is a message transmitted on the grapevine that is not based on official information. As such, is may be true or false or have element of both. It could be true, it could be false, or could be having mixture of true and false. Something true, something false. Gossip tends to be idle talk, often of little consequences, just for time passing, having no purpose. However, it may be malicious and cause hurt to individual. Malicious, threatened, which can damage professional relationship between individual within the organization. If one person behavior was not good with other while discussing things. Conversely, it can also be a morale booster which spells out group norms and allow employee to discuss employment worries. Normally, issues relating to your job, employees discuss with each other informally. That is what gossip. You know, that manager is dash, is too bad. If one manager have misbehaved with one of the employee, the employee will say this thing to other employee. You know, he's a dash. He did this bad. That other second employee will communicate to third will communicate to four, and that manager will become villain in everybody's eyes. Though he did wrong with one employee, but through gossip, he has become villain. And people believe that. If one manager behave nicely with one employee, and that employee is impressed with that manager behavior, and he communicated to his colleague, you know, that manager is excellent. He behaved nicely. He's a good man. The second employee communicated to third to fourth to fifth, and that manager become hero in the organization. Though he behaved nicely with one employee, but through gossip, he became hero in eyes of everybody. That is result of gossip. The grapevine tends to flourish when there is a lack of information provided to employees. If management want to implement some new changes in the organization, suppose previously employees are working informally, there were no system of recording hours. But now management have installed a device. At morning, you need to put thumb impression. At evening, you need to put a thumb impression. Your hours worked will be calculated accordingly. And if your hours are lesser, your pay cut will be there. But before implementing this system, if management haven't communicated to the employees why we are moving toward this system, management haven't communicated, then employees started communicating with each other and they will not accept this willingly. So lack of information provided to employees, and they try to fill the gap themselves. Employees feel insecure about their position. There is a personal animosity in or interest in a situation, such as when a friend is disciplined by a supervisor, or there is new information that people wish to spread quickly. Management may make use of grapevine by using it to distribute information that they would not usually want to transmit formally. For instance, manager could use the grapevine to prepare staff for the formal announcement of some bad news. Company is not performing well. Company is incurring losses from 2-3 years. Management tried their best, but they failed. So now they decided we should cut staff. And now they are going to dismiss some of the staff member because there is no much demand of work, as we are not generating that much sales. So we can reduce the salaries, wages, expense to improve profit or at least reduce the loss. Now, before dismissing staff, they will spread this information through grapevine, so that employees should be prepared before this. Because if management call a meeting of staff and they will say, oh, now we are going to dismiss some of the employees will attack the managers. They will not afford this information. But before announcing formally, management will spread this information informally, so that employees should be aware about it. Now, if management calling a meeting, employees are aware why they are calling the meeting. They will be mentally prepared. There will be lesser attack on the management. Effective and ineffective communication. What is effective communication? If communication is understood by the other person, communication is on timely basis, the purpose of communication is achieved, so that will be effective. If communication is not done on timely basis, too late you have been found, the purpose of communication not achieved, other person haven't understood the message due to noise, so that will be what? Ineffective communication. The effectiveness of an organization depends upon, to a large extent, on the effectiveness of communication by its management and employees. Organization objective, management cannot achieve through their alone efforts. To achieve objective, you need support of others. And support of others you will be able to achieve when you are having good relation with others. And relationship depend upon communication. Your family members, your friends with whom you are still in communication, you are having a strong relationship with them. And some of your friends or some family members with whom you don't have communication nowadays, you are not having good relation with them. So communication will result into good relationship. Good relationship will result into sport. And sport will result into achieving organization goal objective. So that's why in organization, effective communication is necessary for effectiveness of the organization. Effectiveness of organization means meeting objective. The attribute of effective communication. What is effective communication? That is done on timely basis. That is accurate and complete. If you have communicated figures that were wrong, if you have communicated some information that is incomplete, that is not effective. Relevant means to the person to whom it must be communicated, it is communicated to him, not to irrelevant person. Directed to the right people to whom it should be communicated, it is communicated to whom because he need to take the action. And relevant mean the relevant information should be there, irrelevant should not be there. Because if irrelevant information is also included, that will waste the time of the receiver. Understandable. If there are difficult terminologies, jargons used in communication, so you need to explain the meaning of that jargon, that terminologies, then the receiver will be able to understand it. and should be cost effective. Ultimately, for communication, you are adopting any channel, and for that channel, you are bearing some cost. So cost of communication should be lower than the benefit of communication. If to communicate information, the cost is more, but benefit are lesser, so that communication is not effective. So what are the qualities of effective communication? Timeliness, accurate and complete, relevant information, mean necessary, directly to the right people, understandable, and cost effective. Effective communication is essential for the organization as is ensure that, what are the purpose of effective communication? Instructions, rules, and procedures are properly understood by all employees. Individuals know what is expected of them. There is better coordination between individual groups and departments. If communication is not effective, it could create conflicts. It is easier for manager to plan and control operations more efficiently. Farming mean adopting, swapping, and testing of ideas. Sharing, testing of ideas is encouraged. One will say something new, other will say in counter. Then the first person will say something to prove his point. Okay, it is understood. Now everybody will adopt and form and will test that idea. Is encouraged improving innovation, and this will result into innovation. And nowadays, those businesses are surviving in the market that are more innovative than their competitors. Increase trust. If there is no communication, there is trust issue as well. There will be suspicious activities, suspicious mind, and reduced conflict within the organization. If you want to avoid conflict between people, there must be proper communication, open communication. There shouldn't be anything hiding. There shouldn't be any secrets. Barrier to effective communication. What are the reasons that could affect the effectiveness of communication? Status of people could be a reason. Sometimes due to different status, people don't want to meet with other manager. Why I should go there and communicate? And employees are not allowed to enter your office. My level is different. Why I should go over there? Language barrier. The issue in UAE as well. People cannot understand what you are trying to say. Conflict between people. If they don't want to see each other face, ultimately there will be no communication. This is barrier in effective communication. Overload. If you want to communicate anything through written and you have sent our written pages and 100 pages you have sent, please read this. There will be information for you. To read 100 pages, he needs to prepare his mind first. He needs to spare time first. So this means that 100 pages, whether any important information is in there, but that will not be communicated due to overload. You need to prepare a summary, the main points that should be communicated. Distance, due to distance, sometime there will be barrier in communication. People are sitting in different locations. They are not using email, they are not using WhatsApp. They want face-to-face communication. And you need to travel and you are unable to plan that traveling. Personal differences like personality clashes due to age. Some old people don't consider good to communicate with younger people. Sometimes younger people don't prefer to communicate with older people. Education. You are accounting and finance graduate. You know the accounting terminologies. And if you want to communicate anything with, say, IT department or engineers, They will not be able to understand that because their education is different, your education is different. Our priorities may mean that they interpret the information in different ways, causing confusion. Just reading, no concept, general. Consequences of ineffective communication. If there is no effective communication, what could be the consequences? There could be conflicts. It could affect the teamwork. It could demotivate the employees. And ultimately, it will affect poor quality of products and services. Poor quality products and services will result into loss of customer. Loss of customer will result into bad repute for the business. So if the organization fail to deal with the barrier to communication, its internal and external communication may become significantly less useful. Lack of downward communication is likely to result in, if top management do not communicate at lower level on regular basis, they are not calling meeting, they are not communicating their plans, their ideas at lower level, what could be the consequences? Poor awareness of corporate objective at lower level management. Mean employee will not focus on organization objective because they are not aware about it. Poor understanding of working instructions and responsibilities. They will not be able to perform their role properly because you haven't communicated properly. Poor morale of junior managers because they are not consulted about changes. They will feel no value of themselves because you are not recognizing their work. You are not communicating with them whether they are performing better or bad. Which will affect them are their working conditions. If there is a lack of upward communication, mean lower level employees, supervisors are not communicating to top management, the issues will still remain there. They will not be resolved. Top management will not be providing any support at lower level because you are not highlighting issues, because there is no communication. So including feedback has the following undesirable consequences. Early warning of trouble areas is not received. This means management will be having no plan against issues. If any issue arises, they will be having no plan, and that issue could destroy the organization. If smaller issues communicated to management on timely basis, this means they are prepared for that. They are preparing plan how to overcome these things. They are working on proactive approach. Now management need to react against the issue. Benefit of creative ability in subordinates is lost. If there is any skills in subordinates that can contribute towards benefit of organization, so that skills, that contribution will not be achieved, is lost. Participation of subordinates is limited. They are not participating in anything. If they are not participating in anything, they are not feeling their value in the organization. I mean, we are useless. What we need to do just to follow order from top management. Need for change is not appreciated because management is isolated from operation area. I mean, if management try to implement new changes in the organization, employee will not accept that. Control becomes difficult. It will be difficult to control the employees because they are out of your hand due to lack of communication. Introduction of changes is difficult. An organization will not be able to implement new changes easily because employees will not accept. And normally employees do not accept the new things. They consider new things will affect our work-life balance. Lack of lateral communication. What was lateral? Horizontal. Between managers, between teamwork, between team people. Will result into division in management teams. Some manager will be having separate group, some will be having separate group. And this will affect the teamwork. Without teamwork, organization cannot achieve objective. There will be no coordination between departments. Lack of coordination. Rivalry, competition between section and department. They will be competing with each other rather than with the competitor outside. Lack of advice and involvement by staff specialists mean people will not support others. If one department is not having support of other department, like accounting not having support of IT, production not having support of IT, marketing not having support of IT, this will affect their work. How to overcome barrier to communication? How we can avoid barrier? So that there must be effective communication. Agree and confirm priorities and deadlines for the receipt of information. In always agree and confirm whether you have received this information, you have understood this information. Are you going to do this till that time? If you require any work from other, you have given the deadline, agree, confirm. Are you agree? Or you need extra time? Spend sufficient time ensuring that the information is sent to all the right people. Make sure the information has been delivered to everybody concerned. Keep communication as simple as possible. Avoid jargons. Jargons mean difficult terminologies that other people cannot understand easily. Confirm that the information sent has been received and understood. Take feedback. They have understood the message. Avoid inconsistent verbal, non-verbal communication as this tends to confuse the receiver. Adopt one channel of communication. Don't adopt a different channel. Adopt one channel of communication so that people must be aware I'm receiving message from managers through emails only. This means I need to keep an eye on email every time. I think last topic, yes. Communication pattern. There are different patterns of communication, also called topologies. One is called wheel network. This is also called the star network or star topology. What is this? In wheel or star, all the communication should be done through one central person. If he want to communicate here, that will be through one central point. If he want to communicate here, that will be through one central point. If he want to communicate here, that will be through one central point. Centralized communication. Circle. That will also be through one side. If he want to communicate something here, that will be through either this side or either this side. In all people are not able to communicate directly with each other. All channel, people can communicate directly with each other. Anybody can communicate directly with each other. You don't need to pass message through somebody else. Chain, this is also called bus topology, bus network. Where people are sitting on a single line, and if he want to communicate something here, that will be through this, then it will be delivered over there. And then Y, also called tree. There is some direct communication as well as some indirect communication. So what are the communication pattern? Are channel, star, wheel, centralized, circle, all channel, chain, also called bus, and YR tree. So a communication pattern will state how individuals communicate with each other. Leavitt identified 5 major patterns of communication: wheel, star, circle, all channel, chain, and Y. Who defined these channels? Leavitt. These 5 can be grouped into 2 main types: centralized network and decentralized. Chain, wheel, and Y. Chain. This is circle is also called wheel. And Y. They are centralized. mean communication will not be direct, it will be through central position. Group members have to go through a central person in order to communicate with others. This leads to unequal access to information within the group. While all channel, what else? Is saying a chain wheel. Okay, yeah, chain wheel and why not circle? Chain, wheel and why. These are what centralized and this all channel circle. This is what decentralized. Information flows freely between members without having to go through a central person. I mean, there is no central person involved in all channel and circle. Circle is a circle, not wheel. Wheel is that star. WhatsApp is a communication channel. Is that centralized or decentralized? WhatsApp is a communication channel. People have been connected all over the world through WhatsApp. Is that centralized or decentralized? Centralized. Your message first going to WhatsApp, then will be delivered to other person. That's why we can get the history of our messages. If it is not centralized, how we can get the history? We can edit the message as well. So Leavitt's main conclusion were important points. The wheel is always the fastest way to reach a conclusion because central person is involved, and where central person is involved, he is the expert. So fastest way to reach a conclusion, making it ideal for problem solving because of central expert person. The circle is the slowest because this is what decentralized. No central expert person is involved. For complex problem, the all channel is the most likely to reach the best decision because you can share idea, you can get idea, you can get expert information from anybody else. From all departmental manager you can consult. You will be having so many expertise involved in making a decision. So that's why the all channel will reach towards the best decision. So wheel is the fastest to reach a conclusion. Circle is the slowest. All channel will result into best decision. The level of satisfaction for individual was highest in circle because where there is any central person involved, it creates some dissatisfaction. Why we are unable to communicate directly with each other? Why I have to send a message to him first and then it will be delivered to other? There could be some secrets. So the level of satisfaction for individual was highest in circle, fairly high in all channel, and relatively low in other centralized network because your message will be delivered to someone else first, then to whom you want to send. The centralized network saw high job satisfaction for central figure because issues can be resolved in expert way, with the remaining members feeling isolated. So wheel is the fastest way of reaching conclusion, circles is the slowest. Best decision can be made through all channel. Is that what else? Satisfaction is higher in decentralized and the lowest satisfaction among employees in centralized. Misha, an office junior, is asked to send a message to the head of another department. What type of communication is this? What question you are asking? Which of the following is not usually a purpose of lateral or horizontal communication? Task coordination is there. Problem solving is there. Giving instruction. Obviously, instruction passes from top to lower level rather than between people sitting at the same level. So this is not horizontal. This is vertical. Mean you want to ask what is vertical? Which of the following pattern of communication would be best if a quick decision is needed? Which of the following is likely consequence of a lack of downward communication within the organization? If there is no communication from top management to lower level, what will be the consequence? Rivalry between section and department? No, this is consequence of lack of horizontal. Difficulty when introducing a change? Poor awareness of corporate objective at lower level. Early warning of problem is not received. These are relating to top, mean bottom to top. This is relating to top to bottom. He is asking for top to bottom. This is relating to lateral horizontal. Is that syllabus finish? Okay, let's cover MCQ of this chapter from KIT. Let's discuss 25 first. And just give me 5-10 minutes so that we can cover 25 and then we'll be having a break and then move towards other. There are only 10-12 MCQs relating to chapter 25. I think so from 287 onward. Not 287 onward, yes. Yes. Consider the following statement 287. Try please. Which is correct? The grapevine communication network is often used by managers to pass or order and instruction to staff. No, that is a formal, not informal. This is wrong. When communicating with others, the majority of information passed on to other person is transmitted through words rather than other means such as body language or tone of voice. No, more is through body language and tone of voice. Sometimes you can even don't use a word and can communicate through your gesture, through body language. This is also wrong. Either. 28. Whether it is true or false. Is it seems logical or not? The use of predetermined list of recipient for instructions, control reports, etc. often results in some of the recipient investigating matters which have no relevance to the job they do. The use of predetermined list that you have prepared before about the recipient for instructions, control reports, etc. often results in some of the recipients investigating matters which have no relevance to the job they do. Yes, if you prepare a predetermined list of recipients to whom you want to communicate, whether they are relevant or irrelevant, this will help in proper giving instructions. If you don't use predetermined recipient list, mean you are not aware about the recipient, can you convey your message properly? If you want to convey to any recipient, you must be aware about these are the recipient to whom I want to communicate. 289. Barrier to communication consists of anything that stops information getting to its intended recipient. Is that barrier or noise? I think this is the information of noise rather than barrier. Barrier were what? Timeliness, irrelevant information. 290. Horizontal communication example. A manager explaining new operational procedure to staff. This is what? Vertical. Manager to staff. A committee coming together to review health and safety issues. Yes, committee people sitting at the same level. This is horizontal. Staff passing on to the supervisor the main point. This is backward, vertical. During appraisal, a person receive a feedback about their performance results from where? From manager. This is also vertical. So this is horizontal. 91. Indra is a manager in a company. Her employees have recently complained that ICE department is suffering from a lack of upward communication. Which of the following problem would typically result from this? Deviance between the management team, this is due to horizontal, not vertical backward. Lack of coordination, again horizontal. Limited participation in decision making by junior staff. Yes, they are not participating in decision making because they are unable to communicate to top level. Lack of awareness, this is resulted due to top down. Is that 92? Felix has recently sent out an email informing his colleague of a change to an other placed by one of their major customer. Mean our one of customer has changed his place. Like he was operating in Dubai first, now he has moved towards change to an order place. Okay, order placed by, okay, his order was for 100 goods. Now he has changed the number of order space, so 150. So his colleagues are now complaining that they have already started work on the customer order and this work has now been wasted. So what attributes of effective communication is missing from the Felix communication? Complete. He has sent complete information. Cost effective. No, this is cost effective because the benefit is more. Relevance. What the issue is there? If they have already started the packing, so he has informed them too late. Issue of timeliness. 93. Information overload. usually lead to individuals being unable to decide what information is relevant or not. Therefore, important facts may be missed out. Yes, information should be relevant, should not be having irrelevant information. 94. Quickest to reach decision. Slowest, circle. Best decision, all channel. Is that quickest, fast, wheel. Slowest, circle. Best decision, high satisfaction, centralized or decentralized. High satisfaction, centralized, decentralized. Centralized because expert decision is there. Under time pressure, the all channel system, A, B, or C, or D. Under time pressure, the all channel system deliver even better results. Under time pressure, no, it will consume time because you need to consult with everybody. You are not taking decision for one expert centralized person. Reform into a circle or disintegrate, slow down or crashes, crash, restructures or disintegrate. Under time pressure, the all channel system deliver even better results. No, this is not. Reform into a circle or disintegrate. No, it will not reform into circle. Slow down or crash. No, it will not crash because you are having support of so many people. Restructure or disintegrates. Yes, you can restructure from home. You can get information. You will decide who are relevant person. Or disintegrate. Integrate me. What is integration? Relation. Integration mean relation. You'll be having relation with some, but not with all. 96. The complex problem. The network most likely to facilitate the best decision in all channel. 97. Diagonal. See, a junior marketing manager communicating with the procurement manager, other department manager. People at different level between different department. Why not A? A junior accountant communicating with the finance director, same department. This is vertical. A team leader communicating with another team leader in a different department. So that is horizontal. The finance director communicating with the sales director, horizontal. Last 298. See, Ugo manage a team in GSA company. He emails information to individual team member as needed. The team members send information back to Hugo and then he forward any relevant point out to the rest of the team centralized. Individual team members do not communicate with each other. Which type of communication network is Hugo's team operating? Y, wheel, circle, all channel? Yeah. Let's take a break. After break, we'll discuss some more MCQs from it.
هذا سليم. يلا سيب You say China? Huh? You say China? China? Where China? No, about to buy. Yoktum. Hı? Yoktum Emre derdi. No, no, no. I stay in our field in the States. And the songs. I mean, thank you. How is your preparation for that? Okay. Okay. Take more than minute. It's okay. Take days. It's okay. Habibi. It's okay. Habibi. Thank you. Preparation for weekly is good. For Ramadan. For Ramadan? Yeah. No preparation. I don't know how I'll like look for Sahur, Iftar, everything. Still not planned. Actually, most times I'm always tired at 4 o'clock. Well, here I'm in the afternoon. That is just the thing that I have to prepare for. Waking up is not the problem. Walking. Sometimes I might go hungry cooking because I don't want to. Cooking takes a lot of time to be honest. We are not professionals at all. And how about you right now? You cook or? Yeah, I actually know how to cook. So I've done it beside fridge. How much I pay for it there? How much I pay for it there?
6.
1600.
Yes.
1600
Yes.
per month partition.
Partition, yes.
Is it spacious or?
Is just bachelor space.
Hmm?
Bachelor's like when we can say by a video.
Yeah.
It's just like bachelor space. Okay. We have covered some MCQs. Let's cover from this external analysis. That was chapter 6. Okay, 61, please. Which of the following would a transport company monitor under the political heading as part of pest analysis? In which one is political factor? Tracking system to monitor driver hours, anti-theft devices, developments in a tire technology. That could be relating to legal rather than political government policies. State of the economy, oil prices movement, a rise in interest rate, economic. Fuel tax, grants, subsidies, privatization, nationalization, budget. So that is political. Predicted car numbers and usage, public concern over safety, that is also legal or social. So this C is political. I mean, he's asking for what is political factor. 62, please. Which one is correct? A political system can be defined as a complete set of institutions, political organizations, and interest groups. The relationship between those institutions and the political rules and norms that govern their function. This seems accurate. Nationalization of an industry often involves government selling some of its asset in a bid to promote competition. No, government do not sell, they will retain with themselves. There will be no competition in case of nationalization. So this is wrong. Which one is correct? One only. 63, please. Supranational body that represent different countries. So United Nations is a supranational body. US legislation is relating to USA only. UK government is relating to UK only. UK High Court is relating to UK only. So this is supranational body that represent different countries. 64.
Sir, option C.
Option C, data protection legislation such as the Data Protection Act in the UK typically focus on issues concerning data held about incorporated entities, right of the individuals with regard to withholding information about oneself, other. The way data about the individual is to be obtained, used, and stored, yes. Aligning the information requirement between different countries, no. So mainly how you can hold process, store data of individuals. 65. Which one is true? Which one is false? Yes, no. Both are true. First, right of subject access. Individuals are entitled to be told whether the data controller holds personal data about them. Ultimately, he need to inform him, I want to hold your data for what purpose, otherwise you cannot hold, this is illegal. Right to prevent processing for the purpose of direct marketing. Yes, individual can stop you. Don't use my data for marketing. I'm giving you for this purpose. So don't sell it for marketing purpose. If without your permission, they are selling or using for marketing purpose, that is illegal. 66. Alex wants to request his personal credit report from a credit file company for free using typical data protection legislation. No, this doesn't come under data protection legislation. Data protection legislation is imposed on those companies who are using, holding, processing data about other individuals. If any person want to take his credit card report or credit rating report, that doesn't cover under data principal act. Is that?
So that's not protection.
Alex want to request his personal credit report from a credit file company for free using typical data protection legislation. No, this is not data protection legislation. Data protection legislation imposed on those companies who are holding, using, processing data about others. If any person want to take his credit card report, credit rating report, how is my credit rating? That is not data protection legislation. Is that? Alex received a large amount of unsolicited junk mail using the Data Protection Act. He wished to have these marketing activities blocked using the Data Protection Act. No, he cannot block using Data Protection Act. That is junk mails. If you are receiving from different senders, you cannot take action using Data Protection Act. They are not using your data. They are sending you marketing email, general email they are sending to different people. Data protection law is about protection of individual data. If you are storing data about others, you need to protect, you need to make it secure. It's not having any link with the junk emails. 67. Economics. One is correct. At equilibrium point, the price and production level we can set with no surplus, no shortage. Because above it, there will be more supply, less demand mean surplus. Below equilibrium, there will be shortage. Okay. As the selling price of product increases, the number of units supplied by the market will also tend to rise. Ultimately, there will be more supply, having that relation with price and supply. So both are correct. 68. You need to calculate cross elasticity of demand. change in price of good, change in quantity of good A divided by percentage change in price of good B. So demand is 4%, price is 5%, 0.4 divided by 0.5, 0.8 positive, positive, simple. Because change in demand is numerator and change in price is denominator. 69.
Sir, option A, true.
Yes. 69 is true. A shift in the demand curve for a product is caused by change in the condition of demand. Yes, because due to price change, there is a movement on demand curve rather than a change in the price of the product. Yes, true. Because due to price, there is movement over the demand curve. Demand curve will shift upward or downward due to factors other than price. That is also called due to change in condition of demand, like income, consumer income, taste, preference. 70. Elastic greater than 1. Inelastic lesser than 1. So G company increases the selling price of its only product, the GF 1000 by 5%. So change in price is 0.05. This causes a reduction in the number of units it sells by 8%. So change in quantity demanded is what? 0.08. Is the GF 1000 price elasticity of demand likely to be greater than 1, lesser than 1? Greater than 1.08 divided by 0.05. So elastic demand, 71, please. Each company manufacture and sell a motor vehicle, the GHF 300. Which of the following would cause an expansion in demand for this product in country M? A reduction in the selling price of the GHF 300, expansion, contraction mean movement over demand curve. Increase, decrease is a shift of demand curve. So now there is a price changes. So price changes will create expansion or contraction. Is that? Why not be the product becoming more fashionable? So that will shift the demand curve, mean increase the demand curve, increase in demand. A reduction in direct taxes with country M, that will also result into increase in demand, not a extension or contraction. An increase in the population, that will also increase the demand. So extension or contraction of demand is movement over demand curve due to price change. 72. Perfect market, large number of buyer sellers selling homogeneous identical product, and customer is having complete information about price and products. No one firm can set the price. So which of the following is not a characteristic of perfect market? Large number of customer and suppliers, this is. All suppliers provide a wide range of products and services. Wide range of products and services. Homogeneous products and services. There is perfect information for customers. This is, there are no entry or exit barrier in the market. Anybody can enter, anybody can exit. So mainly what? B is not a characteristic that we have studied. Is that? 73. F operates in a market where it has only two major rivals. Duopoly, each of whom is roughly the same size as F. What type of market F operating is? Monopolistic competition, large number of sellers selling differentiated product. In competition as well as monopoly mean different product, but competition, large number of seller. So this is what the same type of rival and few in a number. So this is what oligopoly, because they are not large. Few sellers selling similar product. That is what oligopoly. If there are only two suppliers, that will be duopoly. Now there are more than two, F and two others. $74. Which of the following is a feature of monopolistic competition? Few competitors in the market, undifferentiated product. Competition means more sellers. And perfect, same product, undifferentiated. Under monopolistic competition, different product. So A is not, because many sellers, many suppliers. B is not, because products are differentiated. In monopolistic. In perfect, same. No major barrier to entry or exit from the market. This is feature of every competition. Either it is monopolistic, either perfect. And low advertising expenditure. No, there are more advertising expenditure because you are selling differentiated product, having different than competitors. So how you attract the customer? Through advertisement. More advertisement expenditure. So option C. Technical. 75. Which of the following is not a factor that affect the price elasticity or demand? The amount of customer income spent on item, yes, it will affect. If you are spending small amount like on salt, demand will be inelastic, having no effect on demand due to change in price. Is that? Duration of the price change. Is price changing for short time and too much changing, it will be having effect. But if price changing for long time, it does not affect the demand that much, because now people are aware this price will be permanent. The necessity of the item to the consumer, yes, it will also affect. The initial number of unit demanded, it has no link with elasticity of demand, the initial unit of demanded. 76. Two options. L makes a variety of different products, including windows. Which two of the following would cause a decrease in the level of supply of L's window? Factor other than price. An increase in the level of VAT charged by the government or windows, yes, there will be decrease in supply. A new automated assembly system for L's product that reduces L's window manufacturing overhead. If overheads are lesser, expenses are lesser, there will be more profit, there will be more supply. So this will increase rather than decrease. Staff negotiation leading to window production staff adopting a shift work approach, which makes better use of L product facilities. If better use, this will increase the supply. Staff negotiation leading to a slight rise in hourly rate. Ultimately, if a production cost is increasing, there will be lesser profit, lesser supply. They will shift their investment to other. 77. E-company manufacture a single product. Which of the following would indicate that the product will have a low price elasticity of demand? The change in price is not affecting the demand. Customers spend a high proportion of their income on the product. So if they are spending a high proportion, ultimately a little bit change in price, this will affect the demand. Customer don't see the product as being a necessity. If it is a necessity, there will be no change on demand. Price is high, low, people need to buy. Customer tend to buy the product by habit. May not necessary. By habit is a habit. Cigarette will be having low demand. Customers have a number of substitute products that they can choose from. This will affect. So now B and C. Now B is saying don't see the product as being a necessity. So option C is correct. If C is brought as being a necessity, then this will also be right. 78. The government of country X is planning to introduce minimum wage legislation that would set minimum worker pay at significantly above the current average level of pay in the country. So government trying to increase the wages cost for the company. The labor market in country X is currently regarded as having reached its equilibrium point. Consider the following two statements regarding this legislation. The legislation will likely increase the unemployment level within country X because now organization will try to stay on lesser number of employees because their wage cost is going to increase. They cannot control it. So they will try to work with lesser number of people to maintain their wages expense. Okay, this is accurate. Manufacture with country acts will likely wish to make more labor intensive product. No. They will not move towards labor intensive. They will move towards machine intensive because labor cost is going to be higher. 79, please. That's your option. C. Frija is preparing a short-term budget for a cost incurred by her company. Cost budget. She is predicting that the company will experience significant increase in output during the period. Mean company will experience significant increase in output during the period. They need to produce more. How would Farija expect to see the average cost per unit change within short term? The cost per unit would be expected to fall for the entire period during the increased output, not for entire period, for that time period only. Economies of scale will be available. The cost per unit would be expected to initially fall, then start to rise again due to diseconomies of scale. No, diseconomies of scale arises in long time period, not in short time period. The cost per unit would be unlikely to change in the short run. No, in the short run, it will reduce due to economies of scale. The cost per unit would be expected to initially fall, then start to rise again due to the law of diminishing return. Yes, this could be. In the short run, it will fall. Because if you are moving towards large production, there will be some economies of scale. What is economies of scale? Per unit cost saving. Suppose for this room, we are paying $100 rent. We are producing 100 units. What is the rent per unit? 1. Now, if we produce 200 units in the same room, paying $100, now rent per unit will be 0.5. This is what economies of scale. That's why in the short run, the cost will, per unit cost will fall. PT. Cyclical. Which of the following is the name given to unemployment, which is the result of aggregate demand in the economy being too small to create unemployment opportunity for all? This is not a structural due to change in industry structure. Cyclical, yes, over the economic cycle, demand supply. Frictional. What was frictional? Due to dismissal or leaving, changing a job. And real wage, there is no link of a wage increase. 81, please. Rapid economic growth may lead to increased demand for imports. Rapid economic growth, too much increase in economic growth. People are having sudden higher income in their hand. What they will do? Demand. If your local supply is not matching that demand, there will be increase in imported goods demand as well. Is that 82? Country Y has an increasing high rate of unemployment. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the effect of this on consumer and business, both due to high unemployment? Business may offer lower wage to staff because there is high unemployment. They will take advantage of this. Government spending on social security will fall. No, they need to feed the people, so that will rise. Business will find it easier to locate new employees. Yes, because they are available. They are searching for jobs. Business may find that demand for their goods and service of fall. Yes, people are having lower purchasing power, so there will be lesser demand sales. 1, 3, and 4. 83, please. Which of the following are typical macroeconomic policy objective of government? What they want? There must be economic growth, money supply management. Money supply management. No, there are objective like there must be economic growth, there will be low level of unemployment, there will be more national income. These are their objective. Money supply management is a way through which they manage these things. So this is not the objective. 84. Which of the following would best summarize the effect of expectations on country's economy? Expectations. Expectations effect has no influence on the economic development. No, if there are high expectation of economic growth, people invest more, there will be more development. I mean, if there is expectation about future, if a government is expecting the citizen income to rise, it will try to adjust the taxation level as to decrease the amount to be collected. No, they will charge more, they try to gain more. If a company expects its trade contract to be terminated in future due to recession, it will take action to find another customer. How you can find another customer if your trade contract to be terminated? If people collectively expect the economy to develop in a certain way, they will act in a manner that will facilitate this change. Yes, if there is a chance of a growing economy, people try to invest more. If there is chance of recession economy in future, they will stop their investment. Mean this is the collective reaction. 85. What fiscal policy, mean budget, would be best used when trying to address our deflationary gap? Deflationary gap. Inflation, high prices. Deflation, lower prices. When there are lower prices, when there is low demand of the product. Because demand increase prices, there is lesser demand, ultimately supplier trying to sell their product with lower prices. This is called deflation. And they are charging lower prices. This means their margin, their profit is lower. They will be discouraged. They will be out of the market. So there will be no output. There will be no there will be no employment. Mean the unemployment will be high. So government to try to facilitate the business. How? by charging lesser tax, by providing more grant services. That is what deficit budget they prepare rather than surplus. Surplus mean more income, more tax, less expenditure, grant subsidies. So running a budget surplus, no, they will be stupid. Having a budget deficit, yes. Interest rate is having no effect with fiscal policy because interest is in relation to monetary policy. Interest rate is having effect of monetary policy rather than fiscal policy. We are discussing about fiscal policy budget, either surplus or deficit. 86. All are indications of what? Recession. Butler. 87. If government has a macroeconomic policy objective of expanding the overall level of economy activities, they will spend on different sector, they will provide grant subsidies and address taxation. Which of the following measures would be consistent with such an objective? Increasing public expenditure. Public mean government expenditure, yes. Increasing interest rate, no, this is not interest rate increasing will discourage business, economy will contract rather than extract. Increasing taxation, no, this will also discourage. 88. Which is the following is likely to be result of balance of payment surplus? Surplus mean your export are more, imports are less. Exports are more, imports are less. Export more, your currency will go up. When your currency will go up, ultimately foreigner have to pay more for your product. And growth economy, people purchasing power high will result into more demand will result into higher prices. So low rate of economic growth, no. Inflation, yes. Unemployment, no. Budget deficit, no, there will be surplus. 89. Economic growth disadvantage. Growth of demerit goods. 90, please. Which of the following statement best describe demand side policies? Government trying to affect the demand. I believe that government should manipulate its spending so as to manage aggregate demand. Yes, this is demand side rather than supply side monitoring. 91. Country M is experiencing economic stagnation. Economy has stopped moving. National income is not increasing, but population is still increasing. You cannot stop population. Is that per capita income will reduced? A senior policy advisor has recently proposed that the nation should concentrate on limiting government intervention in market and reducing fiscal deficit rather than increasing public expenditure. I mean, there shouldn't be any government intervention. Which economic theory is a policy advisor suggesting that country M should adopt no intervention of government? That is what? Classical theory. That is what? Classical theory. 92. Balance of trade in deficit mean more imports. Country F is experiencing a rising trade deficit. Trade deficit rising mean more import, less export. In addition, the cost of these imports are rising due to production problem in the countries that export to F. If all else stay constant, which two of the following would this be expected to cause? A fall in aggregate demand? Yes. Rising aggregate demand? No. Imported inflation? Yes, because foreign products have become expensive. Monetary inflation? Monetary inflation? We haven't seen any term like monetary inflation. So 1 and 3, option A. 93. Which of the following would be classified as expenditure reducing strategy? Providing subsidies to exporters? No, this will increase expenditure for government. Lowering the currency exchange rate, devaluating currency will be having no effect on expenditure. Government expenditure are what? G. Running a budget surplus, classified as an expenditure reducing strategy, mean less grant subsidies expenditure on different sector and more tax. Yes. Import tariff and quota, this will affect only the balance of trade rather than government expenditure. So government expenditure is relating to either A or C. So what is expenditure reducing strategy? Surplus budget. Mean more income, more tax, less expenditure. 94, please. Government may need to interfere in the economy. Yes, Keynesian theory. Monetarist, supply side they need to affect. Social, environmental, and technological factor 95, please. Monitoring population growth is usually only important for public or government organization. Monitoring population growth is usually only important for public or government organization. No, it could affect other as well. Attitude represent an individual personal preference or pattern of choice. Attitude represent an individual personal preference or pattern of choice. Is that attitude? No, attitude is liking, disliking, not a personal preference or pattern of choice. Is that both wrong? 96. What is aging population?
More old people.
Some countries having aging population means certain age people are more as compared to other. Like if you talk about Europe, they are having more old age people due to healthy lifestyle. And due to low birth rate, they are having lesser younger generation, lesser children. That's why they are encouraging for more children. Other countries like Asia, they are having reverse aging. They are having more children, more younger generation, lesser old age people due to unhealthy lifestyle, more diseases. So 96. Aging population represent a risk to all business that manufacture or sell technological advancement product, not to all, a particular type of business. If there are more old age people, it will affect only the children garments business, not all type of business. Change in social structure can have a significant impact on countries' buying pattern. Yes. 97. Outsourcing is often associated with which business process allows employees to work from home. This is not outsourcing. Sourcing data from outside the country. This is not outsourcing. Transferring a call center overseas. Yes. Instead of having a department inside the organization, you have taken services from others. Sending staff on foreign assignments. No, this is not outsourcing. So outsourcing is what? C. 98. What change in people's attitude has put additional pressure on business to become a more socially responsible? Disposable income is growing as people have a fewer children. This is not social responsible. Urbanization encourage companies to build more compact offices. This is not being socially responsible. Fashion changes rapidly, therefore frequently change of supplier becomes a necessity. This is not being social responsible. People are more aware of the carbon footprints left by the company's operations. Yes, this is being socially responsible. Find who is cause of pollution. 99. Introduction of new technology often means that a company can streamline its operation. This impact organization structure in which of the following way? It encourages managers to spend more time controlling staff activities? No. It allows the company to reorganize itself into a taller structure? No. Technology moving towards flat structures. It allows delayering by widening a manager's span of control. Yes, delayering is possible. 100 please. Which of the following is not a way in which business can reduce the amount of damage they cause on the environment. Rebranding the product, having any link with environment. Recycling is redesigning product to use fewer material, yes. Careful production planning, yes. So rebranding is not relating to environmental policy. 101. Organizations should use resource in such a way that they do not compromise the need of future world. This is definition of sustainability, meeting the need of present without compromising future. 102. Lannister is a bank based in country W. It is considering outsourcing its IT department to an overseas IT consultancy company. Its current IT systems are considered excellent, which is important as the bank industry in country W is a highly competitive and innovative. Which of the following statement regarding this proposal is correct? If they want to outsource their IT towards any other country. Outsourcing is likely to reduce the risk of data security. No, it will increase risk of data security. This is wrong. Lannister is likely to enjoy increased in-house IT skills and knowledge. No, he will not enjoy. Outsourcing Lannister's IT department could cause a loss of competitive advantage. If others are also outsourced, you have also outsourced, so there will be no competitive advantage. Might be currently your IT system is working excellent. Due to that, might be you are having competitive advantage. It is likely to be easy for Lannister to buy the IT function back in-house if problem arise with the IT consultancy company. No, it will not be easy. You can bring back your department now if you have outsourced, because you will lose the staff that is running now. Option C. 103, please. Recycling waste material could be classed as being both environmental friendly and sustainable, yes. 104, competitive factors 5 forces. F company sells a motor vehicle in country V. It has recently discovered that the government is planning a major overhaul of the public transport system in country V, which will significantly increase its speed and comfort, while lowering the cost to make it attractive to individual drivers. Mean there is help from the government. Under which heading of Potter's five forces model would this issue be included? In you are selling motor vehicle, but government try to make it innovative, the transportation system like a bus system. If bus system is working wrong, people will buy motor vehicle for traveling. If bus system will be okay, they will not use motor vehicle. So bus is what? Substitute of your product, because why people need motorcycle? To commute from one place to another in their daily routine life. If a government try to improve bus system, that will be quicker, that will be cheaper. People will not use their motor vehicle because they need to spend for petrol as well. So this is threat of substitute. 105, please. X company offers accountancy training courses. The market is growing quickly and X courses are significantly different to those offered by its rivals. Any new company wishing to teach accountancy courses must obtain accreditation by the various accountancy organizations, a process which can take several years. Barrier to entry. It is not easy for new competitor to enter in your industry. Why? First, there are some legal restrictions and you are providing significantly different services than the competitors. Based on the above information, which of the following statement can made about X competitive environment? Competitive rivalry is likely to be low. This is not information about competitiveness. This is barrier to entry having link with the threat of new entrants. We'll put down the threat of new entrants as low. Supplier power, there is no information about supplier. Barrier to entry are likely to be low. No, they are high. The threat of new entrants is likely to be low. Yes, due to high barrier to entry, threat of new entrants will be lower. 106, please. High industry fixed cost would not be expected to be an issue within which one of the Porter's five forces. High industry fixed cost ultimately affect the competition. This will create barrier to entry as well. Is that? And if your fixed costs are high, ultimately you want to recover from customer by charging high price. This will affect customer bargaining power as well. So it's having no effect with the substitute. 107, please. Outbound logistic, how outputs are handled and delivery to the customer. Receiving, handling, distributing inputs to the production system. This is inbound logistic. Using a rational approach to solving a problem. This is not a Porter value chain any activity. Informing a customer about the product our company has to offer. This is marketing and sales. So distributing the products to the customer, how outputs are handled and delivery of product to the customer. How outputs are handled plus delivery. 108, please. Company buys cable from a number of manufacturers, cut it into shorter length and sell it to various retailers. So that cutting after buying is what operation. One of its department is solely responsible for the cutting of the cable, which quarter's value chain activity is the department responsible for. It's not procurement that is relating to relation with suppliers. Operation, yes, inbound logistic, buying and then storing. This operation is after the buying. Infrastructure, that is organization management and organization structure. So this is relating to operation primary activity. 109, please. A company, a company who sells its product at a price below that of similar rival products is likely to have adopted a differentiated strategy. No, in different, this is cost leadership strategy rather than differentiation. In differentiation, your product with different features, enhanced feature, even you can charge a little bit more than your competitor. This is cost leadership rather than differentiation. In charging lowest price through cost cutting as compared to competitor. 110 please. Each provide a range of product and service that are tailored specifically to pregnant women. So you have target a particular type of customer. So you are on focus strategy, particular type of customer. Cost leadership differentiation, all type of customer in competition. 111. Porter value chain determines whether and how a firm activities contribute to which of the following. Its long-term survival, its competitive advantage, its profitability, its productive capacity. Mainly it is relating to competitive advantage. How you can achieve competitive advantage if your activities are better than others. 112, please. Primary activities are inbound logistic, operation, outbound logistic, marketing and sales, and services. Who is involved in primary activity? PCT company is a large trading company. Steve is the administration manager and is also responsible for legal and compliance functions. So he is relating to infrastructure support activities. So Steve is not. Sheila is responsible for customer service and has responsibility for ensuring that customers who have purchased goods from BCD company are fully satisfied. So she is providing services, after sales services. So she is involved in primary activities, inbound logistic, operation, outbound logistic, marketing and sales, and services, and she is involved in services. Okay. Sunny deals with the supplier and negotiate on the price and quality of inventory. So this is relating to procurement. So Sunny is also not relating to primary. Infrastructure, procurement, HR. What was else? Infrastructure, procurement, HR, IT. These four were secondary. Okay. He is also responsible for identifying the most appropriate supplier of plant and machinery for the factory. Sam is the information technology manager and is responsible for all information systems. So he is also about secondary. So Sheila is about primary. 113, please. Internal positive points strength, negative points weaknesses, external positive opportunities and negative threats. So a company is performing a SWOT analysis and notes that it has a large cash balance. This is what internal financial information we will discuss under strength weaknesses. Which of the SWOT heading would this be most likely for strength? 114, please. A value network looks at the linkage between the supply chain of different organizations, how you are taking supplies from supplier, how you are delivering to the customer, such as supplier and their customer. A value network, yes, value network is relating to supply chain. How you are managing your supply chain, that will provide more value, more benefit to the business. If you are taking good quality supplies on time from supplier, if you are delivering to a customer on time, so that will provide more value. 115, relating to ethics. Absolutism, single truth, old approach. Relativism, no single truth, right, wrong, vary from society to society. Modern approach is relativism. Amelia is an accountant for LGH company, a large multinational organization. She has recently been accused of theft from the company. She has argued that the theft was justified as she needed the money to care for her mother, who is seriously ill. So she is adopting what approach? Relativism, mean right, wrong, vary from situation to situation. Theft is not bad in all situations. 160. A profession must have an ethical code to which it requires compliance. Yes, you are having ACCA codes of ethics that you need to comply. 117. There were 5 fundamental principles: integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. So in A, honesty is not there because integrity mean honesty. Professional competence and due care, professional behavior, confidentiality, these are from those 5. Social responsibility, independence, skepticism, these are not codes of ethics. Courtesy, reliability, responsibility, these are not codes of ethics. Codes of ethics are integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. So which one is meeting B? From A, honesty is not fundamental principle. 118, please. All ACC members must comply with the fundamental principle whether or not they are in practice. Professional of an obligation to society as well as duty to the client. That's why if there is anything against public interest, we need to whistleblow. 119, please. Objectivity means that accountant must not be associated with any false or misleading statement. Oh, that is integrity rather than objectivity. Objectivity means your work should not be compromised due to any biasness or conflict of interest. Accountant must be honest, straightforward, not associated with wrong or false statement. That is integrity rather than objectivity. Is that 120? Jack is an employee in BBB company. He has been offered a bribe by an existing supplier to continue buying a key component used in BBB's manufacturing process from them, in spite of a new rival company offering the same component at a significant lower price. So he bribed him so that he should not move towards other supplier. The following statement regarding Jack's decision is correct. From Jack's point of view, receiving bribe is correct. If Jack is an egoism, self-interest, best for me, he will most likely accept the bribe. Yes. If Jack is relativism, he would refuse the bribe as bribery is always wrong. No, relativism, right, wrong, vary situation to situation. If Jack is a utilitarianism, best for most, best for society, he would reject the bribe as it does not benefit all stakeholders. No, there is no benefit of all stakeholders. If Jack is an absolutism, single truth, bribe is always wrong. His decision would depend upon the circumstance. No, absolutism doesn't depend upon circumstance. Relativism depends upon circumstance. So this is what considering best for himself only. 121, please. Which of the following would be seen as a difference between a profession and an occupation? Profession and occupation. An occupation is governed by a professional body. No, profession is governed by a professional body. Members of a profession must comply with the relevant legislation. No, they must comply with fundamental principles of profession. To be classified as an occupation, members must follow an ethical code. No, for profession, they must follow ethical code. Members of profession must go through a process of rectification, certification. Yes, professional need to get a certificate from professional body. 122. Mia has uncovered fraudulent activity within the company she works for. Who should she alert about this matter first? Her professional accountancy body? No, to his senior first. The company's major shareholder? No. The company's compliance officer, his senior or any officer of the company first. The relevant authorities mean government? No. First, she should communicate within the business to her senior. Then from that senior should be communicated to any of the body. Compliance officer mean he is linked with the body. He will see whether this should be reported to the body or not. 123, please. Which threat Noor is facing? Noor is an ACC member. Last year, one of her client, Aaron, asked her to value a business that he wished to purchase. She did so and informed Aaron that the business was competitively priced. Aaron subsequently bought the business for its full asking price of several million pounds. This year, Aaron has become concerned that the business has been underperforming and has asked Noor to reassess its performance and long-term prospects. This means now he is going to check his own previous performed work. So that is what self-review threat, where you are going to check his own performed work. 124, please. Which of the following are not safeguards that the ACC and other professional bodies put in place to attempt to eliminate ethical threats? Ethical training is a safeguard. Internal complaint procedures, this is not a safeguard against a threat to independence. Creation of corporate governance regulations, yes, you need to follow. Professional monitoring and disciplinary procedure, yes, you need to monitor your staff. So internal complaint procedure is not relating to ethical threat safeguard. 125, please. Best for society, best for most. Lorenzo is facing an ethical dilemma, problematic situation. When deciding what his course of action should be, he is concerned with making sure that the outcome of his decision will benefit the greatest number of people. So this is what utilitarianism approach, best for most, best for society, egoism, best for me. This is what utilitarians. 126, please. How many more? Just 3 more. Which of the following is a value that organization try to encourage within their corporate culture in order to encourage staff to act ethically? What organization does to encourage staff to behave ethically? Empowerment. If they empower, give power to others, ultimately they will feel responsibility, they will behave ethically. Integrity. This is not given to employee. Satisfaction. This is inner feeling not given to employee. Objectivity. This is focusing on their work only. So what organization does for their employees to make them ethically good? Empowerment. If you are having any power to take a decision, ultimately you will consider right, wrong, properly. 127, please. In order to encourage ethical behavior, B company has told all of its employees that they must treat all employees and stakeholders well, regardless of their gender, age, ethnicity, or sex. Which key value is B asking its staff to consider? It's not empowerment. Trust, respect, honesty, regard, consider every employees and stakeholder in well manner. So this is what giving respect to others. 128, please. Deontological, non-consequential approach, teleological, consequential approach. Deontological ethics suggest that consequences of an action should be ignored. Yes, they take decision not based on the consequences because it is non-consequential. So it is true. Teleological is consequential approach, mean considering right wrong based on the consequences. Deontological, people deciding right wrong based on reason behind the decision rather than consequences. So that's it for my side. From my side, everything is finished. There are some remaining MCQs in kit that you need to cover by yourself. This kit you need to cover at least 3 times before going to exam. Plus, you need to cover MCQs along with each chapter in the notes as well. So wish you best of luck. Hope to see you next in mock on Thursday, 6th of March.